How do you start in the pigeon industry? Paano ka nagsimula?
I was a little boy.
Okay,
It was 1989.
1989.
I started 1989. I was 10 years old then, and I was talking to my dad about pigeons because I had an uncle. Meron akong isang uncle sa Pilipinas, nakakalapati siya, and I remember him having pigeons.
Okay.
So I said if we could have some pigeons, and didn't know where to buy pigeons, where to look for pigeons. So I started looking in the newspaper ad, dati wala tayong Facebook.
Wala, of course.
So I was looking in the buy section ng newspaper until I found, open pigeons for sale. So I contacted the guy, tinawagan ko siya, and that was it. That was history. So my dad was a very instrumental key to me having pigeons today. Without him.
But before, when I talked to you, nabanggit mo sa akin you already meet Nelson Chua, I think, in Jericho.
Yes.
Tama ba yan?
Yeah. I've met them, and every time I go to the Philippines, I try to either meet with them, go to their lofts, or we go out, have dinner.
Yeah. Okay.
Frequently, visit.
I see.
Egaya, Chua, and Jericho.
Yeah. So, Jericho. So, nakalaro mo na rin ba sila before? Have you?
No.
Or did you acquire some of the birds, or you just scout the birds that they have?
I have no pigeons of theirs. All my pigeon racing nandito lang sa California.
Sa US lang. I see.
Yes.
Nagano ka lang, pumasyal ka lang sa kanila. It's good.
Yep, that's right.
What is your challenges when you start racing pigeons? So, ano yung mga challenges mo?
Challenges in racing pigeons when I started, no?
Ano yung mga challenges mo? Kahirap na parte na nagsisimula ka.
The information with the pigeons was so limited, right? Wala tayong internet.
Yeah,
dati.
correct. Like kayo, internet, madali na eh.
Yeah. So, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
And you learn on your own, or ask ka ng questions dun sa mga veterano, how to feed the pigeons, what is the right pigeon. Bata pa ako, when my dad was driving me around, all the old veterans like me, I was a small boy, and syempre gusto nila get people involved, young kids, into the racing pigeon sport. So binibigyan nila ako ng kalapate, and that's how I started with my pigeons. I was fortunate enough to meet some good pigeon men. Binigyan ako ng magandang linyada. And Alright.
Yeah. How long have you been in the industry? Gaano katagal ka na naglalaro?
So since 1989, I don't want to count. What's that?
Wow, tagal na. Wow,
I love it.
It's a very long time. Galing,
33 years.
Talagang veterans ka na rin pala sa paglalaro. Yeah, 30. That's very nice. So, ayun, no? So, actually, meron tayong mga other questions here that usually naman tinatanong din sa ayun. So, ano yung greatest achievements mo as a pigeon fancier? Greatest achievements and accomplished?
When I was growing up, I was still with my dad, so I was still under his roof as a teenager.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think it was year 1995, old bird season. There's 10 races in one old bird season. And in the SFR club alone, I'm not talking about, just in the club. Kasi SFR club, San Francisco Racing Club, is the longest airline mileage of each race in the whole combine. But in our club that year, I remember 1995, we won 5 out of 10 races.
Wow, 5 out of 10?
Year. So it was a great performance.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, it was a great performance, and you know, that day, that was 30 years ago, 25 plus years ago. We had more pigeon men back then than today. Yung sport today here locally, club flying, has dwindled down. Pigeon sport is dying in terms of club racing. More everybody right now here in the United States is involved in one loft racing. More involved in one loft racing.
Yeah, one loft racing. Yeah, correct.
Karamihan ng mga old timers passed away, so we have to find or create some sort of way to attract new blood into the sport.
Yeah, I see. So, tanong lang, no? Nung nagsisimula ka, or right now, I don't know kung nag-game fish ka pa ng mga lines ngayon, pero anong hinahanap mo sa breeders? What do you look for a breeder? Pagka you want to start into this sports, anong unang tinitingnan mo sa breeders?
Well, I think the general standard now is everybody likes to have strong back, one pin tail, tight vents, right? That's what I say that because si Mike Ganos, that's the line always when he describes pigeon, and I think the only way na you could see or feel or understand what a good pigeon is if you handle as many champions as you can, so you can get an understanding of what champion pigeons feel like, how they handle and then you make up in your mind what you want in your loft, what you want to concentrate on, because it's very hard to describe what I feel in my hand. So I could tell you as much information, but you yourself need to experience that, so you have that mental picture.
Yeah, correct. That's good. So, ayan, so mga kalapatids, at least you know kung ano yung mga categories o ano yung mga tinitingnan niyo sa ibon para sisimula pa lang siya. So another question is, this is a question of mine actually. What is your conditioning program prior breeding? Ano lang naman, bigyan mo kami ng konting tips lang. So kung paano how you condition your breeders. So do you have a special program? So ano yung kahit glimpse lang pwede natin i-share sa mga kalapatids natin dyan?
What I like, or what I think should be all across the board for everybody who keeps pigeons, is to have healthy pigeons 365 days in a year, right?
Yeah.
So the birds should always be in good every time of year, not just because it's breeding season. Doon ka magpa-prepare, magpa-flashing, right?
So dapat laging healthy.
They should always healthy. And what I look for when it comes breeding season is they should be right weight. Hindi sila overweight. Kasi if they're overweight, the hens have a hard time laying eggs, right? So they should be of good weight.
Yeah, correct. Oo, tama.
Kung kailangan mo mag-flushing ka. It's very hard these days kasi they say if the pigeon is not sick in the first place, why give it any medication, right? So
correct. I would agree on that.
Don't fix the if it's not broken, don't fix it. So as long as the breeders,
tama ko dyan.
if they're healthy,
so kailangan lang talaga you maintain the health of the breeders.
Correct.
Laging obserbahan. You observe your breeder if they're healthy. Hindi naman healthy, hindi mo naman kailangan gamutin ng gamutin. Tama?
Yeah.
So yun.
And if you're around pigeons for a long time,
mga kalapatids natin dyan.
If you're around the pigeons long, makikita mo naman that they're really looking nice. Kasi come breeding season, yung breeding season namin dito is around December, January, right? So at this time, kompleto na sila sa molt, and they're picture perfect. At this time, they should be picture perfect. And white nose, right? You could tell they're 100% healthy. What I do like to do with the breeders, kapag when you pair them up and nakalay na sila ng eggs, right? Within 7 days of incubation, I like to give them a canker treatment. Bago pumisa yung eggs, I like to give them a canker treatment. Canker for 2 or 3 days. just to make
Okay.
sure they're clean.
Good.
Pag umisa na yung eggs and they're feeding the
I see.
babies, they're nice and clean, and the babies should be very nice, and they should not grow nice, healthy babies.
Yeah. Follow-up question dun. After pairing, what is your weekly program both for breeders and buyers? Pagka nag-pair ka, nakapag-condition ka na, nag-pair ka na ngayon. During the pairing, after na mag-pair ka, ano yung binibigay mo, pinapainom mo sa kanila on a weekly basis?
There's a variety of pigeon vitamins. I like to put stuff on the food. Kapag magbibigay ako ng vitamins or minerals or any types of supplements, I like to put it on the food. Because
Put it on the food. Sinasama mo
if
na.
it's on the food, walang sayang. Right? If you put it in the water,
Correct.
put it in the water, they don't drink the water at one
Matatapos.
time. So the water will be 3-4 hours, 5 hours. By that time, nawala na yung potency ng either vitamin or medication that you're giving the birds.
Yeah.
So I like to give it on the food.
Yeah,
If
correct.
it's on the food, they eat it right away. One time, they have it.
Okay. So, teka. Okay, so next question is, how do you train your young birds for the first flight?
Pag nawin ko na sila from the parents, they're into the young bird loft. I need to make sure that they know who the master is. So, bago ka magpakain, you gotta, whatever you want to do, you want to use a whistle, ring a bell, or say anything you want to the pigeons, para they know when it comes to feeding time, you know, they have to respond to you. So, kapag na sila nasa labas on the landing board or the aviary or what they say viewing, right? Kapag humito ka or nag-whistle ka, they know, go in right away, it's food. So they need to be very responsive to you.
That's good.
They need to be very responsive to you. And once they know that, you start letting them out, they test their wings, they start flying. Once you got them to a point where they're flying a good hour, kapag lumilipad na sila from anywhere 45 minutes to an hour, then you can start road training. And my road training usually starts at 1 mile. I think that's 2 kilometers. And then slowly you build them up. 4 kilometers, maybe 10 kilometers. What I like to do kapag nasa 20-mile point na ako, which is maybe 40 kilometers, maybe 50 kilometers for you, I like to give them a lot of tosses like that, maybe 10 to 15. Kasi once I start road training, I don't stop. If I could go every day road training, I'll go every day.
So talagang you have to you have to focus on the birds. So kung talagang desidido kang manalo, you have to have your own system, no? At nakakatuwa kasi at least may-share ko sa ating sa mga nanonood na at least bago pa lang sa pigeon industry, at least marami tayong natututunan sa kanya. Now, how can you ito common problem to especially sa mga young birds. How can you improve the muscles of your young birds without deworming? Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, medyo matapang yung mga dewormer natin. So medyo hesitant ang mga fancier dito magpainom agad ng dewormer. So anong pwede mong i-suggest na ma-improve yung muscles ng ating mga young birds without deworming them?
First of all, you need to feed the right diet to the birds.
Yeah.
And the right amount. Right? So if you're not feeding the right diet and the right amount, syempre maninipis yan. So regardless whether they have worms or not, talagang papayat yung kalapate. So I
Pero
think
paano yung ibon na talagang almost the same naman ng kinakain, pero talagang hindi siya masyadong hindi siya taba or hindi masyadong nag-perform ng muscle. Pero maganda siya lumipad.
Maybe that's the bloodline. Some birds are not heavily muscled.
The bloodline.
Some birds are bangkain. Is that the right term? Bangkain or kili?
Yeah. Bangkain,
It depends a lot on the bloodline. But it's very hard to
on the bloodline na, hindi na yun sa correct. Kasi I also observe some of my birds. May birds naman talaga maganda yung katawan. Apple body siya. Parehas naman sila na kinakain. Pero this bird, napakagaling niyang lumipad, okay siya, malakas naman siya, pero talagang ganun lang yung katawan niya. Hindi naman siya payat.
Yeah.
Pero yung ano niya, yung ano niya, katawan niya, hindi like the others.
Generally, pigeons are like people. They're skinny people, they're muscle people, they're right. So they come in all shapes and sizes. You know, some small, some big, some long, some short. So it's hard to judge a pigeon whether you think it's sick or not. Basta I think if they're flying well and he's eating well, basta kumakain siya and he's performing, I wouldn't be too much worried about.
Okay, no worries. So thank you for that. Another one is, what is the best system for to give the? Okay, well, I think you okay. So I think you already answered that. Tanong dito is, what is the best system to give for first-time flyers? Ano yung with regards to food and diet and everything?
Here in the United States, we have different systems of young bird racing. There's a natural system, light system, and a dark system. So all is a manipulation of lights, whether it's you lengthen the light, mas maraming oras na pinapailaw mo yung kalapate, or you shorten the hours of light for the kalapate. It all triggers the molt in a different way. So, but I think in terms of Philippine racing, it's not a problem there kasi by the time you guys get the club bands and the time when it comes to racing race proper na, it's I think 9 to 10 months. By the time you get the bands to time to race, it's 9 to 10 months. So yung kalapate would have had the pigeon would have had enough time to molt and have a complete body already. Yung importante is the bird has a complete molt. Kasi if one young bird or one pigeon is racing against one pigeon that's not, or against a pigeon that's complete versus a pigeon that's not complete or still molting, the one that's still molting, yung kalapate niya, is at a very big disadvantage against the fully feathered pigeon. So
fully molted.
Yeah, the aim is for making sure your birds are fully molted, because when you're not, it hurts the pigeon to fly. They will not perform as good as the pigeon who
will not perform.
You know.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
That's good. So, okay. When do we start tossing the young birds, and how many? I think you already answered that. When do we start tossing the young birds, and how many kilometers? Can you?
So, I start tossing the young birds.
No? First flight pa lang. Kailan natin pwede i-toss yan?
Kapag lumilipad na sila ng around 45 minutes to an hour, pwede mo na sila
45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. And I'm talking about yung 45 minutes to an hour, they're ranging. Lumalayo sila, you don't see them for 10 minutes. Hindi yung lipad for 45 minutes just in a circle around.
Yeah.
No good. That's no good. Okay. The birds need to be out of sight and away and traveling. Yung tawag nila ranging, traveling.
Yeah.
The birds need to be traveling. And kapag nakita mo na, the birds are ready to go. The birds can start road train.
Can you show some of your birds para lang makita ng mga viewers natin yung mga ibon na hawak mo?
Okay. You told me this earlier, so I put some birds in the basket. So this is my different family.
Wow, ganda.
This hen was actually flown by a friend of mine in the Fremont Club. So he would be in Ryan's club.
Wow.
My friend Rick Santos, this bird was an auction bird and he flew it. And it was the South Section winner at the time when he flew this hen. It was a 300-mile. I think that's maybe 450 kilometer. So this is the typical different. I don't know if you could.
Anong ano niyan? What's the baseline of the bird?
It's a different Oscar.
Dinevelop mo naman. Yeah.
It's an Oscar
Okay,
different.
I see.
Different. Yeah. What I think they call them in the Philippines, they're called Oscars.
Oscar.
Have you heard them? Yeah.
Ang ganda.
Oscars, yeah.
Can you show it again? Can you show it again? Ang ganda eh. It's very nice eh.
What do you
Can
think?
show the body, if it's, I think, it look like a cup, pero I think it's a hen.
It's a hen.
Pero mukha siyang cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, ganda. Very nice bird.
And I'll show you another.
Very nice bird.
Another one of the family. So this is the same family, but this is a cockbird now.
Wow. Kamukha rin, ano? Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a cup. Ano
This is a cup.
What's the achievement of that?
Well, they're my long distance family. So, long time ago, early on in my racing or pigeon career, or what have you, is I was very interested in long distance racing. So
Yeah.
these
Can
were
you
my
show
very
the birds
first-
a little more? Yung can you show the if it's long back or para lang makita natin. Ganda ng ano. Yeah. Yeah, wow.
Oh, now
I
I
call
call
it.
it. This is a
Yeah, perfect na ibon. Yeah. Yung difference ng ibon nila Ryan at saka ni John, talaga malulupit guys. So at least nakikita natin ang quality ng mga ibon. Is this Vernasa? Tanong ni Sandro Pilimeno. Is this Vernasa?
No, it's not a
Okay.
Vernaza. I do. Yeah, it's not a
It's a
Vernaza. It's a Oscar different. I do have the Vernaza family, but I don't have a pigeon to show you that's Vernaza. No, that pigeon earlier, the first two pigeons, they're not Vernaza. I do have a Vernaza. I do have the Vernaza family, but those two weren't.
I see. That one?
This would be the Vernaza.
Yan ang Vernasa. Pogi. Very nice. Can you show if it's a strong back as well? Yeah, can you show it to us? Wow. Ganda. Can you see yung body, yung mga dream bird natin, yung mga ganitong klaseng ibon, di ba? So that's really nice of Janso to show his birds, no? So at least guys, no, nakikita natin na yung difference ng race from mga ibon natin dito sa Pilipinas at yung mga ibon natin dito sa US, kung ano yung body conformation nila, paano sila nililipad. And I really want to thank John for accepting the invitation para dito sa natin sa interview. And any tips or advice sa mga nagsisimulang mag-ibon, mga newbies na nakikinig sa atin ngayon?
I've always said this, and I talk about this amongst pigeon friends. Breeding is an unknown. Nothing is guaranteed. You can have two champions and put them together. And the chances of getting a champion probably pretty high, but it's not guaranteed you're gonna have a champion, right?
So, you're enjoying the sports, you're enjoying what you're doing, and you're trying to improve every day para meet mo yung goal mo para mag-champion. And I'm really happy
the only way you could tell whether magaling yung kalapate is to race him. Is the basket.
Yeah.
The basket will tell you whether the pigeon is good.
Yeah, I agree with you. So yun. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much for your time.